tempting may sicken the appetite, and so die. That strain, again! It had a dying fall. Oh, it came over my ear like the sweet sound that breathes upon a bank of violets, stealing and giving odor. Enough. No more. 'Tis not so sweet now as it was before. Oh, spirit of love, how fresh and quick art thou, that, notwithstanding thy capacity, receded as the sea, not enters there. Of what pitch and validity whatsoever, but falls into abatement and low price, even in a minute. So full of shapes is fancy, that it alone is high fantastical.
Will you go hunt, my lord?
What, Curio?
The heart?
Why, so I do, the most noble I have. Oh, when mine eyes did see Olivia first, methought she purged the air of pestilence. That moment, I was turned into a hart, and my desires like fell and cruel hounds ever since pursued me. How now? What's news from her?
So please, my lord, I might not be admitted. But from her handmaid do return this answer. The almond itself, till 7 years' heat, shall not behold her face in ample view. But like the cloistress, she will veil it walk, and wander once a day in her chamber round, eyes bending crying. All this to see to her brother's dead love, that she will keep fresh and lasting in her sad remembrance.
She that hath the heart of that fine frame, to pay this debt of love but to a brother. How will she love, when the rich golden shaft hath killed the flock of all affections else that live in her, when liver, brain, and heart, these sovereign thrones are all supplied and filled, her sweet perfections with one self-king. Away, before me, to sweet bed of flowers, love plots lie richly canopied with bowers.
Country friends is this?
This is Illyria, lady.
And what should I do in Illyria? Oh, my brother, he is in Elysium. Oh, perchance he is not drowned. Oh, what think you, sailors?
It is perchance you yourself are saved.
Oh, my poor brother. And so perchance may he be.
True, madam, and to comfort you with this, assure yourself. After our ship did split, when you and those poor numbers saved with you, hung to our driving boat, I saw your brother, most provident in peril, bind himself curtain hopeful, teaching him the practice, to strong masts that lived upon the sea, where like Arion on the dolphin's back, I saw him hold acquaintance with the waves, so long as I could see.
Well, for saying so, there's gold. Mine own escape hath unfolded to my hope, whereto thy speech serves for authority the like of him. Knowest thou this country?
Well, madam, for as bred and born at 3 hours' travel, this very place.
Who governs here?
A noble duke, in nature as in name.
What is his name?
Orsino.
Orsino. Oh, I have heard my father name him. He was a bachelor then.
And so is now, or was so very late. For but a month ago I went from hence, and was then fresh a murmur, as you know, what the great ones do, the less will prattle of. That he did seek the love of fair Olivia.
What's she?
A virtuous maid, the daughter of a count that died some 12 months since, leaving her in the protection of his son, her brother, who shortly also died, for whose dear love, they say, she hath sojourned the company and sight of men.
Oh, that I serve that lady, and might not be delivered to the world till I had made mine own occasion mellow what my estate is.
That were hard to compass, for she will admit no kind of suits. No, not the duke's.
There is a fair behavior in thee, captain, and though that nature with the beauteous wall doth oft close in pollution, yet of thee I will believe thou hast a mind that suits with this thy fair and outward character. Now I prithee, and I'll pay thee bounteously, conceal me what I am, and be my aid, for such disguise as haply shall become the form of my intent. I'll serve this duke. Oh, thou shalt present me as a eunuch to him. Oh, it may be worth thy pains, for I can sing and speak to him in many sorts of music that will allow me very worth his service. What else mayhap to time I will commit, only shape thou thy silence to my wit.
be you his eunuch and your mute I'll be. When my tongue blabs, let mine eyes not see.
I thank thee. Lead me on.
What a plague means my niece to take the death of her brother thus? I am sure care is an enemy to life.
By my troth, Sir Toby, you must come in earlier, and that your cousin, my lady, takes great exception to your ill hours.
Let her accept before accepted.
Aye, but you must confine yourself within the modest limits of order.
Consign? I'll confine myself no finer than I am. These clothes are good enough to drink in, and so be these boots too, and be they not, let them hang themselves in their straps.
That quaffling and drinking will undo you. I heard my lady talk of it yesterday. And of a foolish knight you brought in one night here to be her wooer?
What, Sir Andrew Agachick?
Aye,
Well, he's as tall a man as any in Illyria.
what's that to thy purpose?
Well, he has 3,000 ducats a year.
Aye, but he'll have but a year, and all these ducats, he's a very fool and a prodigal.
Fie that you'll say so. He plays on the viol to gamboys, he speaks 3 or 4 languages word for word without book, and he hath all the good gifts of nature.
He hath indeed almost natural, but besides that he's a fool, he's a great quarreler. And but that he hath the gift of a coward to ally the gusty hath in quarrel, 'tis thought among the prudent he would quickly have the gift of a grave.
By this hand, they are scoundrels and subtractors that say so. Who are they?
They that add, moreover, he is drunk nightly in your company.
With drinking healths to my niece.
Oh.
I'll drink to her as long as there is a passage in my throat, and I'll drink in Illyria. He's a coward and a coistrel who will not drink to her till his brain turn out the toe like a perished. What wench? Castellano Logo. Oh, here comes Sir Andrew. In face.
Sir Toby Belch. How now, Sir Toby Belch?
Sweet Sir Andrew.
Bless you, fair shrew.
And you too, sir.
Accost, Sir Andrew, accost.
What's that?
My niece's chambermaid.
Oh, good Mistress Accost. I desire better acquaintance.
My name is Mary, sir.
Good Mistress Mary Accost.
You mistake, knight. Accost me. Front her, board her, woo her, assail her.
By my troth, I would not undertake her in this company.
Very well, gentlemen.
And thou that part so would might never thou draw thy sword again.
And you part so, mistress? I would I might never draw sword again. Do you think you have fools at hand?
Sir, I have not you by the hand.
Ah, Mary, but you shall have. And here's my hand.
Now, sir, thought is free. I pray you take your hand to thy buttery bar and let it drink.
Wherefore, sweetheart? What's your metaphor?
It's dry, sir.
Why, I think so. I am not such an ass, but I can't keep my hand dry. But what's your jest?
A dry jest, sir.
Are you full of them?
Aye, sir. I have them at my fingers, and Mary, now I let go your hand. Oh, I'm barren.
Oh, knight, thou lackest a cup of canary. When did I ever see thee so put down?
Never in your life, I think, unless you see Canary put me down. Sometimes you think I have no more wits than a Christian or an ordinary man has. But I'm a great eater of beef. I believe that has hung to my wit.
No question.
And I thought that, I'd forswear it. Hurry home tomorrow, Sir Toby.
Pourquoi, knight?
What is pourquoi, do or not do? Oh, had I bestowed time in the tongues as I had in fencing, dancing, and bear baiting. Oh, had I but followed the arts.
Why, then thou hast had an excellent head of hair.
Why? Would that have mended my hair?
Oh, past question. For thou seest it does not curl by nature.
But it becomes me well enough, does not?
Oh, excellent. It hangs like flax from a distaff, and I would see a huswife take thee between her legs and spin it off.
Hey, I'll home tomorrow, Sir Toby. Your niece will not be seen, or if she be, it's forthwith. She'll none of me. The Count himself here hard by woos her.
She'll none of the count. She'll not marry above her degree, neither in estate, years, nor wit. I've heard her swear more to it. Tut. There's life in it, man.
I'll stay a month longer. Fellow the strangest mind in the world. Sometimes legislate masks and rebels altogether.
Are thou any good at these kick-chassés?
As any man in Illyria, whosoever he be, under the degree of my betters. Yet, will not compare with an old man.
What's thy excellence in a galliard, knight?
Faith, I can cut a caper.
I can cut the mutton to it.
And I think I have the back trick simply as strong as any man in Illyria.
Why for all these things hid? Why for have these gifts a curtain before? Are they like to gather dust, like Mistress Mole's picture? Why dost thou not go to church in a galliard and come home in a coronto? My very walk would be a jig. I would not so much as make water, but in a syncopace. What dost thou mean? Is this a world in which to keep virtues hid? I did note by the excellent constitution in thy leg that thou wert born under the star of a galliard.
Aye, 'tis strong, and looks well in the dun-colored stock. Shall we set about some revels?
What shall we do else? Were we not born under Taurus?
Taurus. That's the sides and heart.
Legs and thighs, therefore, let me see thee caper. Higher!